Dante's Inferno, Canto number 5. From the first circle thus, I came descending to the second, which in narrower compass turning holds greater woe, with outcry, loud and rending. There, in the threshold, horrible and gurning, grim Minos sits, holding his ghastly session, and as he girds him, sentencing and spurning. For when the ill soul faces him, confession pours out of it till there's nothing left to tell, whereon that connoisseur of all transgression assigns it to its proper place in hell, as many grades as he would have it fall, so oft he belts him round with his own tail. Before him stands a throng continual. Each comes in turn to abide the fell arraign. They speak, they hear, they're whirled down, one and all. Ho! Thou that comest to the house of pain, cried Minos when he saw me, the appliance of his dread powers suspending. Think again how thou dost go, in whom is thy reliance. Be not deceived by the wide open door. Then said my guide, wherefore this loud defiance? Hinder not thou his fated way. Be sure hindrance is vain. Thus it is willed, where will and power are one. Enough. Ask thou no more. And now the sounds of grief begin to fill my ear. I'm come where cries of anguish smite my shrinking sense, and lamentation shrill, a place made dumb of every glimmer of light, which bellows like tempestuous ocean burling in the batter of a two-way wind's buffet and fight. The blast of hell that never rests from whirling harries the spirits along in the sweep of its raw swath and vexes them, forever beating and hurling. When they are borne to the rim of the ruinous path, with cry and wail and shriek they're caught by the gust, railing and cursing the power of the Lord's wrath. Into this torment carnal sinners are thrust, so I was told. The sinners who made their reason bond thrall under the yoke of their lust. Like as the starlings wheel in the wintry season in wide and clustering flocks, wing-borne, wind-borne, even as they go, the souls who did this treason, hither and thither and up and down, hour-worn, hopeless of any rest, did I say, of the least minishing of their pangs forlorn. And as the cranes go chanting their harsh lay across the sky in long procession trailing, so I beheld some shadows borne my way, driven on the blast, and uttering wail on wailing. Wherefore I said, O Master, art thou able to name these spirits, thrashed by the black winds flailing? Among this band, said he, whose name and fable thou seekst to know, the first who yonder flies was Empress of many tongues, Mistress of Babel. She was so broken to lascivious vice, she licensed lust by law, in hopes to cover her scandal of unnumbered harlotries. This was Semiramis. 'Tis written of her that she was wife to Ninus and heiress too, who reigned in the land the Soldan now rules o'er. Lo, she that slew herself for love, untrue to Sichaeus' ashes. Lo, tossed on the blast, voluptuous Cleopatra, whom love slew. Look on Helen, for whose sake rolled past long evil years. See great Achilles yonder, who warred with love, and that war was his last. See Paris, Tristram, see, and many, oh wonder, many, 1,000 more he showed by name and pointing hand, whose life, love, had rent asunder. And when I had heard my doctor tell the fame of all those knights and ladies of long ago, I was pierced through with pity, and my head swam. Poet, said I, fain would I speak those two that seem to ride as light as any foam, and hand in hand on the dark wind drifting go. And he replied, wait till they nearer Rome, and thou shalt see. Summon them to thy side by the power of the love that leads them, and they will come. So, as they eddied past on the whirling tide, I raised my voice. O souls that wearily rove, come, speak to us, if it be not denied. And as desire wafts homeward dove with dove to their sweet nest, on raised and steady wing, down dropping through the air, impelled by love, so these from Dido's flock came fluttering and dropping towards us on the cruel wind. Such power was in my affectionate summoning. O living creature, gracious and so kind, coming through this black air to visit us who in death the globe incarnadined. Were the world's king our friend, and might we thus entreat, we would entreat him for thy peace, that piteous so our pangs dispiteous. Hear all thou wilt, and speak as thou shalt please, and we will gladly speak with thee, and hear while the winds cease to howl as they now cease. There is a town upon the sea coast, near where Po, with all his streams, comes down to rest in ocean. I was born and nurtured there. Love, that so soon takes hold in the gentle breast, took this lad with the lovely body they tore from me. The way of it leaves me still distressed. Love, that to no loved heart remits love's score, took me with such great joy of him, that see it holds me yet, and never shall leave me more. Love to a single death brought him and me. Cain's place lies waiting for our murderer now. These words came wafted to us plaintively. Hearing those wounded souls, I bent my brow downward, and thus bemused I let time pass, till the poet said at length, what thinkest thou? When I could answer, I began, alas, sweet thoughts how many, and desire how great, brought down these twain unto the dolorous pass. And then I turned to them. Thy dreadful fate, Francesca, makes me weep. It so inspires pity, said I, and grief compassionate. Tell me, in that time of sighing sweet desires, how and by what did love his power disclose, and grant you knowledge of your hidden fires? Then she said to me, "The bitterest woe of woes is to remember our wretchedness, old happy times. And this thy doctor knows. Yet, if so dear desire thy heart possess to know that root of love which wrought our fall, I'll be as those who weep and who confess. One day we read for past time how in thrall Lord Lancelot lay to love, who loved the queen. We were alone, we thought no harm at all. As we read on, our eyes met now and then, and to our cheeks the changing colour started. But just one moment overcame us, when we read of the smile desired of lips long thwarted, such smile by such a lover kissed away, that he may never more from me be parted, trembling all over, kissed my mouth. I say, that book was Galeot, Galeot, the complying ribald who wrote it. We read no more that day. While the one spirit thus spoke, the others, crying, wailed on me with a sound so lamentable, I swooned for pity, like as I were dying. And, as a dead man falling, down I fell.